everyone, Pam, Gregory Astrologer. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the second half of October and the new supermoon that we have coming up on the 16th. Now, October is really quite unusual because we have 3 lunations in the month. On the first of the month, we had a full moon in Aries. Today I'm going to be talking about the new supermoon in Libra on the 16th, and then right at the very end of the month on the 31st we have another full moon in Taurus, and that's quite unusual to have 2 full moons. So the second full moon is referred to as a blue moon, and I'll be covering that in the next video. Okay, so there are 2 clear themes really running through a lot of October. The first theme is the theme I've been talking about for a very long time, which is this bunch of Capricorn planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, which are all about control and law and order and rules and regulations, but also about the deconstruction of the old order, don't forget. And they are being squared by the planets in Aries. Mars retrograde in Aries, this is the ruler of Aries, Eris, goddess of discord and chaos, and a point I talked about last time, Black Moon Lilith. So the Aries planets are really, and points are challenging the authority of government, if you like, because they're a demand for freedom, for independence, for autonomy. They just want to go do it. Aries is a very impulsive, impatient energy. It goes solo, it's a pioneer, it doesn't have to check in with anyone, but it's because it's a square to those Capricorn planets, it's running up against those constraints, if you like, and very obvious reason why we have the constraints this year. So that's one big clear theme, and I'll be talking a little more about that as well. Another theme which has come in October is an opposition between Mercury and Uranus. And this is really quite a different quality, because Mercury from late September into the 28th of October is going to be in Scorpio. Now, Mercury, when it's in Scorpio, is really digging deep. It needs to get to the bottom of things. It needs to unearth things, unearth secrets, anything that's been hidden for a long time. That's the urge. It's forensic, it's penetrating. That's the urge of Mercury in Scorpio. And remember, I covered this in the last video, it goes retrograde on the 13th at 11 degrees of Scorpio, and I talked about that last time. That's particularly important. Mercury retrograde, as you know, I scarcely ever talk about, but this is important because the retrograde is running right up until Election Day in the US, the 3rd of November. But as I say, detail in the last video. So when we have oppositions between Mercury and Uranus, often there is shocking news, surprising news, and particularly if we are using that Mercury in Scorpio to dig deep, to unearth secrets, to unearth surprising facts, then they could really be quite shocking. This opposition becomes exact on the 19th of the month, so it's very, very close at this new supermoon. But it runs all the way from the 1st of October to the 25th of October, so pretty much effectively the entire month. So through this month we may see many disclosures, secrets coming to light, seismic things. And seismic I mean by very strong earth events. Seismic could be earthquakes, volcanoes, literally with the earth, or they could be political volcanoes. They could be things that shock our sense of reality. I think we're just going to go through some head-spinning revelations, which are very, very strong in October. Could be galactic news. That's always linked to Uranus as well. So it's going to be very strong around the 19th, just after this new supermoon. So be very aware of all that. We've got a strong Uranian theme running through October for other reasons I'll get to later. But our new supermoon happens on the 16th of October. It's at 23 degrees 53 minutes. Again, those last few degrees of the cardinal signs. Over and over again, from about 20 degrees to the end of cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, they are being repeatedly aspected and triggered at this time. So this new supermoon is at 23:53 of Libra. See where that falls in your chart. This is happening on the 16th, as I say. It's happening at 12:30 p.m. Pacific and 8:30 p.m. UK time. Any new moon, particularly a very strong one like this, is a new beginning. So see where this is falling in your chart and plant a new seed. Don't forget to set a new intention for what you want to manifest in your life. So this isn't blossoming at this time, you're just planting the seed and it will come to manifestation. It may even take 6 months till the full moon in Libra comes around, but at least you're planting the seed very clearly. So remember, set an intention in the present tense as if it's already happening. Also consider setting a new intention for humanity at this time, because this is so strong. This is the closest new supermoon of the year. It's the second of 3 in a row, but it's the closest one. So because it's closest, again, the moon is going to have a strong gravitational pull on the Earth that could add to seismic events, extreme Earth events. In addition, don't forget from the last video that Mars is still very close to one of its closest points to the Earth in 15 years. It was at its closest point on the 6th of October. It's still super close now. So with the proximity of Mars, very linked to heat in a physical sense, when Mars went retrograde on the 9th of October, we saw to the day those horrific fires happening in California, up the coast, Oregon and Washington state. But also it's about heat in behavior. So this is what we're going to be seeing running through, I think, the next 10 to 11 weeks. From Mars, a lot of heat running up against those Capricorn planets. But remember, I'm almost running out of superlatives here. We've got the closest supermoon of the year. Mars is extremely close as well at this time. So just like the last video, we've got Mars at 20 degrees, Eris at 24, Black Moon Lilith at 29, so they're closely together in Aries, squaring Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in Capricorn. So I've explained that really. It's the urge for individual rights and freedom running up against rules, regulations, constraints, particularly because of the year we're in and the situation we're in. In fact, Pluto is at the midpoint of Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter intensifies whatever it touches. So it's expanding this sort of intensity of power and control coming from governments. But at the same time, don't forget, as I've said many times, Pluto moving through Capricorn is the deconstruction of the old order. Now, we may not see that fully till Pluto starts to move out of Capricorn in 2023 into Aquarius, but so we have some way to go. But this is a particularly strong time, a particularly strong challenge happening right now. So this isn't just a square between Aries and Capricorn planets. Because of the Sun and Moon being at 23 degrees 53 minutes of Libra, it's a T-square. So we have a great deal of tension here. Now, Libra as a sign is about equality, fairness, justice, and also really Eris is about not feeling heard, being disregarded, not feeling that you're benefiting from society. So it kind of fits with that theme of justice and equality that Libra is making very clear at this new supermoon. In addition, Uranus, as I say, is very strong because it's opposing Mercury. And so this is the planet of freedom. This is the planet of truth. This is the planet of the piercing sword of clarity. So whatever Mercury is digging up from the Scorpio depths, it's going to become quite big and shocking. I think, as I say, it's going to be head spinning round about this time. It really is going to kind of shake the old paradigms, I think, in many ways. And because Uranus is always the planet of surprises, I can't really anticipate exactly what they're going to be. I just feel very strongly they're going to be some real biggies here. But Uranus, remember, is also the planet of awakening. It's the planet of freedom. So again, it's reinforcing the Aries message about freedom. So whatever is emerging at this time into the collective, it may shock us, may create even more social unrest, because Uranus is also the planet of rebellion and revolution and revolt and protest, but that is part in itself of the awakening process. So be very aware that that is happening. Also, at the end of October, the 27th, Uranus is at its closest point to the Earth all year. So that is also emphasizing that Uranian symbolism. So whether we're having seismic events because Mars is so close, or because this new supermoon, we've got greater gravitational pull from the moon, or whether it's going to peak round about, or the truth and the shocking news is going to peak round about the end of the month, I don't really know. But it's not going to be dull, let's just say that. It's going to be a lot happening. Now, a lot of people are asking me about the 21st of December, and clearly we've got quite some time to go, and I'm going to be going into much more detail as we get closer to that. Now, very gifted psychic and sensitive people are saying that we're going to have this huge wave of light energy coming into the Earth on that day. Now, that isn't strictly astrological at all, but that's what they're saying, but certainly cosmologically, as I've explained before, because our whole solar system is spinning out of the protection of the magnetic cloud where we've been for certainly all of our lifetimes, the Earth is receiving more cosmic and galactic energy, waves of it all the time. That is helping to upgrade our systems, upgrade our DNA, bring more light into the body, and ask for more light to come into your body. It's wonderful, wonderful part of the process of awakening and upgrading us. So that is a physical fact, if you like, that is cosmologically happening. But in addition, if we're looking at this astrologically, that is a very strong day because it's the winter solstice. Solstices and equinoxes are when the magnetic shield gets even thinner, so we're able to penetrate subtle realms, get information from them more easily. The ancient peoples knew this. But also, coincidentally, it's the same day that Jupiter and Saturn come together in a conjunction at 0 of Aquarius. Now, the fact that's all happening on the same day, the fact it's at 0 of Aquarius, really is saying this is a new beginning. Jupiter and Saturn come together every 20 years in a conjunction, and it really marks a new worldview. It's considered to be almost generational. It marks a new worldview, a new perspective on the world and your reality. And they happen pretty much consistently for about 200 years in one particular element. For instance, for the last 200 years, roughly, they have happened in earth signs. So our worldview has been around earthly things. It's been around density, materialism, permanence, ownership, car for life, home for life, job for life. It's, consumerism. It's been very possessive, if you like, and possessions oriented. But partly because we have Pluto moving through Capricorn, also we've got Uranus moving through Taurus, those Capricorn and Taurus are going to be shaken up anyway. The things that we have known as our security, our structures, our stability, whether it's political structures, educational structures, medical, whatever they are going to be shaken, and we're going to move into a potentially much lighter, because moving from Capricorn to Aquarius, this is air, this is fixed air. Much lighter quality. This is much more about information, but it's also about collaboration and community. People coming together at its best. This is going to be the global community, acting as a collective. One heart, one mind, we rise as one. That's the feeling with this, if we can get this right. So this conjunction isn't just the beginning of a 20-year cycle till we have the next conjunction. And remember, it's going to be in air signs now for about 200 years. So it's the beginning of a 200-year cycle. But it's actually going back to the start point, if you like, of an 800-year cycle. Because Jupiter and Saturn, as I say, spend about 200 years in each element. Air, earth, fire, water, etc. So this is a big deal astrologically. Now, Saturn is where we put our responsibility. It's also about control. I'll come back to that. So because Saturn still is in Capricorn, it's been there certainly in the last couple of years, we've put our responsibility, particularly this year, in the government to look after us. And it's clear how that's worked. As it moves into Aquarius, we have the opportunity to put the responsibility with ourselves, with humanity, with the collective. And you might think, well, how's that going to work? We've never done that before in our lifetime. So there's a wonderful man called Michael Tellinger, who's South African, and he's come up with a beautiful concept called One Small Town. And I'll try and find a link to put below so you can sort of investigate this concept. But it's all around the community being self-governing and self-generating. It's a fabulous concept. So that will just give you an idea of one of the ways this could work. But every planet and every sign is like a multifaceted diamond, if you like. They can work brilliantly and magnificently, or they can work at a lower level. And if we think of Saturn as control, where control is exercised in a society, Aquarius is the planet of technology. Could it be possible, perhaps, that it would manifest in that way? Because we are very much at a choice point here, particularly with our focus on 21st of December. This is a super, super big choice point. We are in a crescendo of energy. That's how I'm seeing it astrologically. It's incredibly strong and sustained energy through October, November and into December because of the tension of these squares and the fact they're in cardinal signs, which are very outward in their expression. So there's a sense of this crescendo, this tension, if you like, building, building, building. And as we move towards 21st of December, it's almost like we're kind of pulling back the elastic on a catapult, or, the wave, all the tension of these aspects is kind of building a wave in the sea. And if you're a surfer, you've got your eye on that because you're alert and aware of having to ride the wave. So I really would like you to think of that analogy. Can you catch this huge wave of energy coming in to ride the wave as you come into 21st of December? Now, what I mean by that is we can put our focus on 3D reality, on the stuff you see on the news every night. I haven't watched mainstream news for many months now. I feel much happier. You can put your focus on the chaos, the drama. No one has not been touched by this. I mean, everybody has been touched in some way, and, in quite dramatic ways by what's happened this year. I'm not dismissing that for a moment, but what I am saying is if that becomes our preoccupation and our focus, according to the laws of quantum physics, we're going to keep recreating that energetically in some form. Or we can be really strong, use that Mars retrograde in Aries, hero energy, courage, inner strength to say, no, even as a game for myself, as an experiment, even though life is super tough, I'm going to try and raise my frequency to a higher level, because frequency is everything. I'm going to keep on saying this again and again and again in every video. I think they will ultimately find that the only principle in the universe is vibration, is frequency. And the way it works is matter coalesces, events coalesce, experiences coalesce around whatever frequency we're broadcasting. And that's not woo-woo, that's physics. And if you investigate this for yourself, and please do, don't take my word for it, you'll discover this is how it works. So if the universe is if our reality is just a mirror for whatever we're broadcasting, let us try, even just till the end of the year, to keep ourselves at a higher level. Those high frequencies are joy, love, gratitude, appreciation, freedom, and what are the ways we can achieve those, we can get to those? Well, they're super easy. You don't have to go on a course, you don't have to learn anything. Sing, dance, hum, tone, listen to sacred music or any beautiful music. Play with a child, play with a pet, laugh with a friend, be in nature, meditate, yoga, tai chi, qigong, all of that, breath work, candle gazing, all of those will raise your frequency. And what I try and do, because I have to spend an hour in nature every day, I try and go on a kind of rant of awe, A-W-E, awe. And I will really kind of milk what I'm seeing. I think, wow, listen to those birds. They're just amazing. And gosh, smell those pine needles and that flower, stare into a flower and you think, gosh, the structure of that flower is just, look at what divine intelligence has produced. It's just amazing. Smell the damp earth. Anything, you milk it, you get on a rant of awe. And you can be walking with a friend in that same wood, and you may be, wow, look at that. And she may be, as happened to me recently, in a totally different reality, because she may be very challenged at work and very challenged in her relationship. And despite all I am seeing, that's not her experience. Her reality, even though we're walking together side by side, is completely different. And please, 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 there is no judgment whatsoever in that. We are all on our own soul journey, completely. We are generating our own individual timelines. And it can be incredibly annoying for her that I'm going, wow, this is just, look at this leaf, look at this, It can be incredibly annoying. But if you're on your own, perhaps it works better. So simple things like that can get us to a higher level of frequency, because as I'm seeing it, as we move towards December 21st, I believe there's going to be a greater split in the timelines between 3D and 5D. And the reason I think that is, we've got all these new very high frequency energies coming into the earth, but at the same time, we've got much more chaos and drama and collapse and deconstruction of the old paradigm. So we've got extremes, if you like, and 4D is just the bridge between 3D and 5D. And so there's more latitude, there's more divergence, if you like, 3D to 5D timelines. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't hop from 3D to 5D. That is available to us in any moment. And indeed, I know many people who are already living in bliss. They're already in 5D. This isn't a change of place. We're still going to be on the earth. It's a change of frequency and how you're seeing that reality. So, and what I'd say is really choose an emotion, love, joy, gratitude, freedom, and dominate. Really try and dominate whatever your outer circumstances, to have the strength to dominate your reality with one of those high frequency energies. Keep on bringing yourself back, just as an experiment. You can go back to old ways after this, but I feel that this is one of the greatest opportunities we have. It doesn't mean everything's over and all of us are going to end up in paradise on the 22nd of December. Not at all. I think that the collapse of the old order goes on, but it's one of our biggest opportunities. So if you think of yourself as the surfer, really be aware of being crystal clear on your intention of what you want to manifest going into 2021. Present tense, already living it. Crystal clear, be alert and aware to catch the wave of 5D energy. And to look at it another way, I think we are all going to get to the same destination. Let's say a whole bunch of people want to go from London to Edinburgh in the UK. That's a journey of about 330 miles. We can either get a plane, which is a pretty effortless sitting on a plane seat. We can fly for an hour, that's all it takes. Or we can walk to Edinburgh, which may take 3 to 4 weeks with much more effort. Now we'll get to the same destination, but the speed at which, this is how I'm seeing it, the speed at which we get to that destination is different. And again, no judgment here. We are all on our own journey. So it's like a kind of, it's a fast track. If you are able to hold that higher frequency, it gives us a fast track. So I think we will definitely, all of us, feel that big shift of energy. And if we can ride our surface wave, it's going to carry us higher up the beach in our jump in consciousness, higher up the beach in birthing a new spiritual age, higher up the beach in our upgrade, if you like, in our understanding of how reality works. It's going to be a quantum jump. It's not going to be linear or gradual. It's going to be a jump. So this, just see it as a big wave. It's not the last wave. It can be another one next spring at the equinox. And there are going to be others, but that's why I'm making such a big deal about this. So I hope that's helped you. Really do set a clear new intention at this new supermoon, which is going to be very strong. If you'd like more information about my books, my teaching videos, my very long monthly newsletter, please check out my website, pamgregory.com. Could I also just say, this is a real plea from me, for some reason I've got an absolute flood of friend requests coming in on Facebook. Within about 48 hours, I had over 3,000. And I can't add any more. I'm at my 5,000 max on Facebook. Facebook won't let me add any more on my Pam Gregory page. So please beware, because I just can't reply to 3,000 people, to each one. So please be well. Put the link below. I've got another pure astrology page. It gets the same posts as I write on my Pam Gregory page, and you are perfectly able to follow me in much larger numbers there. Don't know why there's been that sudden surge, but it would really help me if you could do that, because sadly I don't want to be unkind and impolite, but I just haven't got the capacity to answer that. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful for you. Super powerful new supermoon in Libra on the 16th, and I'll be back to talk about another full moon in Taurus for the end of the month and into November. Thanks so much for listening. Bye for now.